Hello.
Hello, sir. Good morning.
Good morning. Maheshwari sir, good morning, sir. Bhavani here.
Ashwini madam, please wait for 1 minute.
Okay, sir.
Good morning, all.
Good morning, sir.
Morning, all.
Yes, good morning. Maheshwari sir, have you joined?
Yes, I have joined.
Maheshwari sir, very good morning, sir. Bhavani here
Very
from.
good morning, sir. Bhavani sir, good morning.
Yes, Ashwini ma'am, you may start.
Welcome to Jhulelal Institute of Technology, Nagpur, a premium institute of Central India. Good morning, all dignitaries and participants from various states and institutions. NAAC is a milestone in the progress of any educational institution. It primarily focuses on three aspects while evaluating any institution: quality initiative, quality sustenance, quality enhancement. NAAC is more concerned about self-evaluation in context of quality. To discuss about the process of self-evaluation and quality enhancement, Department of Applied Science and Humanities of Jhulelal Institute of Technology, in association with National Assessment and Accreditation Council, jointly welcomes you to the online workshop of comprehending quality aspects in NAAC accreditation process. This 5 days workshop will focus on different areas of NAAC process. To start this 5 days knowledge bonanza, I would like to invite Dr. Devashish Bhaumik, Vice Principal, Jhulelal Institute of Technology. Dr. Devashish Bhaumik. Sir, we cannot hear you.
Okay, good morning, one and all.
Yes, sir.
Good morning. Today's chief guest and keynote speaker, Dr. Prashant Maheshwari, Dean, Science and Technology, Rashtrasant Tukadoji Maharaj, Nagpur University. Our beloved principal, Dr. Narendra Bhavne, and our director, Sri Pramod Pampatwar sir, my colleagues and all the participants from various states of India. If I'm not wrong, there are more than 650 participants, and across the India, there are 27 states which are participating. So I welcome all of you to this online 7-day, 5-day workshop. Now, as we are very sure about that when it comes to quality education of any educational institution, the present day buzzword is accreditation. Accreditation is a voluntary activity initiated by the institutions. It definitely requires a rigorous self-evaluation and an independent objective peer appraisal of the overall educational quality. Accreditation emphasizes quality assurance and a commitment to continuous quality enhancement. Believe me, to achieve accreditation, an institution must comply with rigorous standards, develop and implement a strategic plan, undergo an annual review of its academic reforms, financial stability, and its retention and placement rates. National Assessment and Accreditation Council, an autonomous institution established by UGC in 1994. The prime agenda of NAAC is to assess and accredit institutions of higher learning with all objective of helping them to work continuously to improve the quality education. NAAC is a member of international network of quality assurance agencies in higher education comprising of over 120 different national agencies engaged in assessment and accreditation. To create awareness and effectiveness, NAAC generously sponsors various workshops on quality benchmarking. And this is one of such workshops sponsored by NAAC. I'm really thankful to NAAC for giving us this opportunity to, you can say, participate in their cause of enrichment and enhancement of quality assurance. Now, in this 1 week long workshop, we have great and greatest personalities with us, eminent in their own fields. Like today, it will be Dr. Prashant Maheshwari, the Dean of Science and Technology, RTMU Nagpur. Let me tell the August gathering, the Pan-India gathering, that he is one of the leading trainer on quality enhancement. We will be listening to Dr. Devendra Kavade, the senior advisor of NAAC itself. Dr. P.S. Bokhare, the Vice Chancellor, Gondwana University. Dr. S. Vidya Subramaniam, Vice Chancellor, Sastra University, Tamil Nadu. Dr. Murlidhar Chandekar, the Principal, VMV College, Nagpur, but the ex-Vice Chancellor of Amravati University and the core member of the NEP 2020 committee. Dr. Smita Acharya, the Director, IQAC, RTMU Nagpur. So such learned speakers and resource person we are going to witness in this week-long workshop. So I hope all of you that we will get benefit out of this workshop. We will enhance our understanding about the process and about the enrichment and enhancement of the quality of our own institutions. So I wish you a very happy learning, and with a great outcome, this workshop, we are forcing this workshop. Thank you so much. Over to you, Ashwini ma'am.
Thank you, sir. I would like to invite Honorable Dr. Narendra Bhavne, Principal, Jhulelal Institute of Technology, to illuminate the audience about today's topic.
Very good morning. Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Okay. Very good morning to all the dignitaries present over the function. Chief guest of today's function, Dr. Prashant Maheshwari sir, Dean Science and Technology, RTMU Nagpur University. Director of our institute, Shri Pramodji Pampatwar sir, Director Technical. Dr. Madhvi Vairagade madam, Director HR Admin. My colleague, Dr. Debashish Bhomik, who is the coordinator of the program. All the colleagues from first year department and all dear participants. Thanks a lot for giving the overwhelming response from Pan India to this one of the needy and over-demanding program on NAAC assessment and accreditation. Because when we think about accreditation, as a person, I feel it is one of the best tool that is provided to transform our institute I don't feel that NAAC is one of the agency or some statutory body to grant some accreditation status to the institute. Like we say that we are working for the NAAC to get some the grade like A plus or B double plus. I feel it is a best tool that is provided to transform the institute as per the requirement, to develop our students, to provide to manage the best governance and management of the institute, and to look after the welfare of all our stakeholders. Because I am involved in the NAAC process from more than 15 years, and this is the one of the best thing I think we learned from the NAAC process. Because as an individual, if we give advice or suggestions, the people may not take it properly because they may treat it as an individual suggestion. But I feel that NAAC, if you will see the manual or assessment process, is one of the Bible or the Bhagavad Gita, which can give how to run the institute in the best form. Because all the aspects of the to run any education institute are properly covered. Because if you will see from the NAAC criteria wise also, it is well planned process. This is my personal feeling, because if we see the criteria wise, if you will see, it starts from the curricular aspects, means how we develop our curriculum, how we enrich our curriculum, and how to deliver our curriculum also. Then if we come to the next part, how we should, the institute should look after our R&D activities, then something like the IPR activities, then even the one of the needy portion that we want our stakeholders to be socially responsible. So the best means every part of the extension activity or the community activities are also well covered. If you will see the criteria, if you will see the criteria for, I think the best how we deal with the institute infrastructure, how to deal the our infrastructure as per the requirement of the institute. Even it is, I think, ready to handle our online process also, online teaching learning process. Even different student activities, how we should, what type of activities we should learn, we should run by the institute, how we should take care of the student welfare. It is well covered in the NAAC process. Then the one more of the important thing is about governance of the institute, how we effectively run participative and the transparent governed in the system is well covered in the NAAC process. And last but not the least, what are the best practices we should adopt for our institute, in what way our institute is different from others. Personally, I have learned a lot from the NAAC process. I'm also thankful to the NAAC authorities for providing this type of the means the guidelines from their side, how to effectively run any institute. With this type of program, and as said by my convener, that lot of very eminent dignitaries will be delivering in this session. So I'm quite confident that our participants will get a very good type of stuff from this. I definitely they will use this knowledge for betterment of the institute. That's from my end. Thank you very much, sir. Over to Anchor, please.
Thank you very
Anchor,
much.
madam, please. Thank you
Yes,
very much, sir.
thank you very much, sir. I invite Mr. Pramod Pampatwar, Director Technical of Julelal Institute of Technology, to inspire the audience with his words. It gives me great pleasure to introduce today's chief guest and keynote speaker, Dr. P.B. Maheshwari. Dr. P.B. Maheshwari has a very versatile kind of personality. His contribution in the field of education is great. Sir is a Dean, Science and Technology, RTM University. He had also chaired the position of Director of Jaydev Education Society, which runs the JD College of Engineering and Management and JD College of Polytechnic. He is a double doctorate in the mechanical engineering as well as thermal engineering. He is a recipient of ISTE Best Engineering College Teacher of Maharashtra State 2019 award. He has also received ISTE Best Principal Award in 2020. He has total experience of 34 years in teaching and administration. He has penned 35 research papers in reputed international journals. He has filed and published 10 patents. He has authored 3 books and 3 book chapters on engineering subject. Sir, we are honored to have such a knowledgeable person as keynote speaker. We are eager to hear your inspiring words. Over to Dr. Prashant Maheshwari.
Thank you so much, madam, for the kind words. Honorable Director Technical, Shri Pampatwarji, the learned principal of the college, Dr. Narendra Bhavne, my friend and the convener of this NAAC workshop, Dr. Debashish Bhaumik, Director HR and Admin, Dr. Indrani Sharma, Ashwini ma'am, and the most important element of this workshop is my dear participants. As you are aware that the workshop is sponsored by the National Assessment and Accreditation Council, and it is to see, or it is to deliberate the quality aspects of the National Assessment and Accreditation Council, and it is a 5-day long workshop. I congratulate the organizer for getting the overwhelming response from across the country. When I was pursuing my doctoral research and even the post-graduation from VNIT, I found that there were a lot of questions in my mind pertaining to research, especially pertaining to the professional scientific communication. And if you see the criteria 3 of National Assessment and Accreditation Council, there also you'll find that they talk about the research holistically. Research does not only mean the publication of the research paper, it also meant the number of faculty members received funding from the external agencies, maybe at the central government level, state level, or regional level, that is from the university. How many PhD supervisors are there in the institute? How many candidates did they guide for the research, successful completion of the doctoral research degree? In addition to this, you know that the patent is highest innovative index. So how many teachers have filed, published, and granted the research paper? And do we have the research friendly environment in the institute? All these things are very, very important when I talk about research. You must have seen that the criteria 3, when they ask about that how many research papers have been published by the teachers, and then we go on writing the research papers which we have published, and all other criterias, all other points and the elements of the research which I told you are also asked to you, and then we fill the information up. After filling up the information, say for example, if you have written that there are 315 research papers published by the faculty members during the NAAC assessment period, then after the due verification by DVV, data verification and validation process, which has been given to some external quality agency, then suddenly you come to know that your 315 papers have been reduced to 275. The patents which you have quoted, that these many patents are published, say for example, if you have quoted that 10 patents are granted, 5 patents are published, and 20 patents are filed, and when you see back the report of the DVV, you find that the number is reduced. And they also ask to you, I will tell you the reasons as to why the number of papers are reduced or number of patents are reduced by the DVV. And and also they ask you that what are the average index, average H index, say for example, average H index of the faculty member. So where from this terminology of index has come, whether there is only an H index or there are other indices which have been promoted by the international level database agencies. And if this is the H index which the NAAC is talking about, then does it mean that the index is based on the citations? If it is based on the citations, what do you mean by the citations? And then when I write that Dr. P.B. Maheshwari On Google Scholar, if you go and find Dr. P.V. Maheshwari's profile, and you will find that I have 200 odd citations. The moment you open my profile into the Web of Science, you will find that the number of citations are reduced. Means there are two different database agencies, three different database agencies, even Thomson Reuters, and all the three different database agencies rate my citations differently. Why do they do so? What is the reason behind reduction when it comes to Web of Science? What is the reason of increase in citation number when I see the Google Scholar? So all these things, and then how do you define citation? How do we define H index? How the H index, I index, and G index are calculated? Can I increase the citations? Citations cannot be increased overnight. But then, is there any method to increase the citations? Or no? I'm talking everything officially. Okay. Is there any method to increase the number of citations? So if there is a method, what is that? And if there is no method, in that case, whatever number of citations I have, can my indices or G index, I index, H index can be increased? And say, for example, if I have constant 200 citations, then which of the three indices, I, G, or H, will be more in my case? Whether you have large number of citation to a single paper, or you have 10 to 12 citations each to 100 papers, which condition will be suitable to which type of index? If I have the 5 research papers only, but every research paper has been received 50 citations each, then which indices out of H, I, and G will be suitable to me? How do we define I-10 index? How this I-10 index is calculated, why the 10 is there in I, how the G index is calculated, and then what do you mean by the impact factor? We talk a lot about the impact factor. Recently, I have seen when a national institute established in Nagpur had floated its advertisement for the variety of posts of the teaching. There I was going through the format when somebody has asked me कि सर ये कैसे करेंगे, how to calculate this. So when I was seeing the format, there I found that they were giving the academic performance indicators, means they were giving the marks. So if the paper is published in SCI, SCIE, Scopus Index Journal, UGC Care List Journal, Indian Citation Index Journal, or Institution of Engineers India Journal, approved by the Springer, then how the marking pattern varies with the variation in the level of the paper, research paper, which I sometimes called as in Science Citation Index, Science Citation Index Expanded. My paper is published in Scopus Index Journal. My paper is published in UGC Care Listed Journal. So these were the variety of questions there in my mind. Then people do talk about research matrix. So what is research matrix? And if the research matrix is there, is it applied only to author or is applied to journal also? Because the moment I have a good article derived from my original contribution, where should I publish this article is dependent on me. Do I know that where should I publish my article? Which index journal should I publish my article? Which refereed journal I should publish my article? Your article is worth publication in the Science Citation Index, but because I do not know that what are the different kinds of journals which are approved by the Science Citation or which are approved by the Web of Science, every journal in the Web of Science is having the Science Citation Index. Then if I do not know all that, then that best of my article derived from the original contribution, how that article I should publish, that remains the major question before me. And if my article is rejected from a particular paper or SCI, what is the next? What is next where I should publish my article from? So in order to answer all these questions, this presentation of mine is there today. And this being, I am really thankful to the convener, Dr. Debashish Bhaumik, who kept my presentation as the first presentation, so that here from the thing should start. Bibliography of the research work mentioned in the criteria 3, if is not known to me, then it really becomes very difficult for the participant to take the suitable decision at the time of publication of the research paper, at the time of filing the patent, and sometimes even this decision that whether to file or publish, even this decision becomes very crucial, because majority of the universities having published their directions for the doctoral research say that you must have published minimum 2 research papers in Scopus indexed oblique Web of Science oblique UGC care list journals before submission of your thesis, or at least the acceptance should be there. Most of the directions, I do not know recent position, but almost a year back, I have seen couple of directions of the PhDs of the Maharashtra state universities. Then I have seen that nowhere it is mentioned that instead publishing the 2 research papers in Scopus index journals of the Science Citation Index journals or the UGC care listed journal, you even if can have a patent granted by the Indian Patent Office is more than sufficient. Even in or they are not writing. So what becomes the priority of the researcher? Because researcher has joined the doctoral research degree to get his degree awarded, and while getting the degree awarded, the condition is that your 2 research papers should have been published in the Scopus index journal or the other type of journals which has been mentioned. So what is my priority as a researcher? My priority as a researcher is not to file the patent. My priority as a researcher to publish the research paper, so that my obligation or my requirement or the requirement of that particular university of getting 2 research papers published gets fulfilled and my PhD gets awarded. So I am ready for the promotions or progression in my career. And the moment you you publish the research paper, that the novelty of your work is lost. And the novelty is an essential criteria of filing a patent. Because the moment you file a patent, there is a patent search. Whatever patent you have filed, there will be a search. There are searchers appointed by the patent office. And they will find that this research paper has already been published in front of the learned technical community, or has been published in the transactions of some research journal. And because the novelty is lost, you are no more eligible to file the patent. And if not filed, forget about the publishing and the granting the patent. So I mean to tell you that these are the variety of things which always trouble to the gray matter of a researcher, what to do and what not to do. And unfortunately, the research supervisors, I'm not blaming anybody, see, unfortunately, the research supervisors also do not know in depth that what are these criteria. You will wonder to know that we the researchers, we the research supervisors even sometimes do not know what are the database agencies, what are the indexing agencies, what are the agencies which publish the journals, and what are the journals which are published by that agency. Which journal, say for example, Elsewhere publishes say around 2000 journals in variety of field. Then which journal of the Elsewhere, I just put the keywords of my research, and then I get the list of the 40 journals wherein I can publish the research paper in Elsewhere publication journals. If you go to Springer, there is again a list of 35 journals. Taylor and Francis, there is again a list of 35 journals based on the keywords which you have inputted or inserted. Now, out of these 40 journals, how should I decide which journal I should publish or I should go for? At least I should try first the highest quality journal of that publisher, because every publisher has the journals not of the same quality. But then the publisher is reputed, If you say that you have published a research paper in one of the journals of the elsewhere, you will be recognized and you will be seen with respect in the community of the technical teachers or the researchers. So comes into picture the journal matrix. जैसे researcher matrix important है, वैसे journal matrix is also important. So what are the various parameters by way of which I can assess the journal? And see, it is not only important for you to publish a research paper in X publisher's Y journal. It is also important for a journal to see that best of the researchers over the across the world publish their research contribution into their journal, because the entire economy and revenue which these publishers are getting generated through the research work which we researchers are doing. So it is equally important that where you publish the paper and which researcher the journals also are attracting. So simultaneously we come to this preamble discussion, प्रस्तावना जो हमें इसके discussion पे. Are you getting me? Am I audible?
Yes,
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 sir. Yes, sir. Sure.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. So we come to the conclusion. इसको जो प्रस्तावना या भूमिका जो मैं बनाना चाहता था, उसका conclusion क्या है कि we have two different types of metrics which are important to each other. Research metrics for the researcher, that is author. Research metrics for the journal. And research metrics is not only important to the researcher, journal metrics is not only important to the publisher, but these two people are integral part of each other. See, whenever you send a research paper, even if your paper gets rejected because it does not suit to the requirement of that journal, your paper rejected does not mean that anyway your contribution to the original research is less or inferior or diluted. No, because you did not fit into the requirement of the readers of that particular journal, where did you send your research paper? That's why before sending the research paper, enough research is required, so that only in 1, 2, or 3 attempt, your research paper is accepted by the editor and then is sent to the reviewer. And once it is under review, you can be rest assured that there are 50% of the chances that your paper will also be accepted by all 3 reviewers, or normally 3, all 2 reviewers. And then ultimately, just a minute. Am I still audible?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So don't get disheartened if your research paper is rejected by the editor, citing the reason that your research paper does not suit to the type of reader that research journal has. Okay, are you getting my point? So let us now straight away come to the presentation. Okay. Devashish?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Now I am trying to share my presentation. Right.
Yes, sir. It is visible. Of course.
It is visible. Okay.
Only, sir, make it full screen.
Okay. Okay. Devashish, by making full screen after sharing, does it get full screen, or should I make it full screen first and then share? I have made it slideshow, but then it is not getting converted into the slideshow.
Okay, fine, fine. You can go ahead, sir.
Okay, then audience, please give me the feedback. Are you able to see the? Okay, I'll go for the next slide so that you can tell me whether
Yes.
Yes, sir.
It is visible, sir. It is visible. Yes, sir.
Okay, so the contents are research matrix, databases, and Devashish, I have a time up to 12.
Yes, sir. Of course.
Yes, sir.
ओके ओके रिसर्च क्योंकि वो थोड़ी प्रस्तावना ज्यादा बड़ी हो गई ना, तो ऐसा लग रहा है कि समय कम पड़ेगा.
नहीं,
हाँ.
pleasure to hear you always.
Okay. Research matrix, databases, then document types, as I told you, SCI, ESCI, BKCI, citation-based research matrix, journal impact matrix, author impact matrix, which I was talking about, short summary of databases and publishers, journal finder, identifiers, that is digital object identifier, ISBN, ISSN, and all these types of codings. ORCID, you must have heard these days, couple of research papers and the journals are asking for the ORCID. And you can also visit to ORCID and see your research papers. Open access websites for e-journals. Out of this, around first 5 to 6 points I'll be covering in this presentation, because total presentation is of almost more than 3 hours. So I'll be covering around first 5 to 6 points. Okay, so we go to next slide. What are research metrics? They are simply to measure the performance. That performance can be of journal and that performance can be of author. Okay, you must have observed that since long time we are hearing a very important word, impact factor. And impact factor is something which comes under the journal matrix. This journal has this much impact factor. We will understand what impact factor means. How does the journals or the databases calculate the impact factor? But then these days you will find that a lot of journal metrics have come up, and these journal metrics are different from the traditional impact factor. Now it has come to alt matrix, H index, and beyond, which we will be seeing in detail. Why do we use research metrics, and why all the research metrics are important? I have told a couple of things in my deliberations when I started.
Make it a full view mode, sir. Full view mode is not. Make it a full view mode, sir, so that can be clearly visible, sir.
Okay, okay. तो फिर मैं कोशिश करता हूँ भाई. हाँ.
F5 sir. Yes, yes, yes. From here. Yes.
हाँ, हो गया. Okay. Now is that okay?
Yes, sir.
Even
It
if it
is
is not
okay,
okay,
sir.
I cannot
Yes,
make.
it is okay, sir. It is okay, sir. Yeah.
Thank you so much. Why do we use research metrics? You must know your value. You must know your research value as a researcher. Even the journal must know its value as to why the people will send the research paper to that journal, why not to other. As long as you are alert about your research value, believe me, more than you, the journals are alert about their research metrics, their value, because their entire revenue generation is based on it. Benchmark your career progress. Okay, as I told you that VNIT has floated the advertisement, they were asking all this. Even if you go to the PhD research, there also they ask you some of the research papers to be published in a particular type of index journals. Communicate more effectively. Hey, Debashish Bhomik has 5,000 H index. Means slowly the people in the research community, the people are known by their H indices. I index, he has 300 I-10 index. Okay. So he has published, आप लोग भी बोलते होंगे आपस में, he has published 3 SCI papers in his PhD. This is the way you are known into the research arena. Communicate more effectively. Okay. Bye. Why do we use research metrics? Okay, metrics can help to choose the journal. Okay, ये थोड़ा बीच में आ रहा है. एक minute. Now it's all right. For researchers, for journal editors, and for librarians. I hope these titles itself tell you that why the research matrix is useful for the researchers, for the journal editors, and for librarians. इसका कुछ हिस्सा मैंने आपको already बता दिया है. Devashish, my slide is, okay. Research metrics are measures used to quantify the influence or impact of scholarly work. Some examples of this are bibliometrics, method to analyze and track scholarly literature, citation analysis, and altmetrics. Citation analysis you will understand from your presentation. A more recent set of alternative method that attempt to track and analyze scholarship through various digital media. My dear participants, some of you must be receiving the email that present your research work which you have already presented in X journal by modifying to our journals also. You must be getting the reviewer opportunity that this is the research paper and we are this journal. Can you please review this research paper because we have seen that you have presented couple of papers into this. Like these emails, some of my participants sitting here must be receiving at least 2-3 in a week, as I am also receiving. Where from they do get all this data? They get all these data through these research metrics which are available in the public domain by the variety of the database agencies, which I'll be telling you at the later slides. Research metrics are mostly obtained from citation analysis. What is citation, by the way? A citation is a reference to a source. When I am writing a research journal, an article, if I am writing, while writing an article, I go through related research papers published in the index journals. Normal journals I do not see. I see the index journals, and when I see those index journals, your research paper, I find that the work which I am doing, the related work is done into your research paper also, which helps me in carrying out my research. Hence, what I do is, in order to pay respect to you, because your research paper helped me in carrying out my research, I cite your journal there in my research article, which sometimes after gets published into a renowned or index journals, and you get a citation. You get one citation. The moment my research paper is published, because your research article has been cited there as a source, you get one citation, you get immediately a message or email that one citation you have received. And the moment you click it, you will find that that mail tells you that because of which research paper, of which author, having what abstract, you got the citation. And you can see the complete research paper of that person. And at the end, when the bibliography or the research the citations are given, references are given, there your paper is also mentioned. That is citation. Citation can not only be the research paper, it can be a patent, it can be a thesis, it can be a textbook, it can be a reference book. So citations can be of any nature. But normally we have seen that the research paper citations are more, and that too referred research papers. A citation is a reference to a published or unpublished source that you consulted and obtained information from while writing your research paper. So it's not necessary that always what reference you have given is a published work. It can be an unpublished work. You and me having a discussion and dialogue on some topic even can be referred. Citation databases. Why the citation databases are used? Citation databases compile the citations in the reference list, that is bibliographies. Why use a citation database? To find more papers on a topic. To trace how an idea has been confirmed, applied, extended, or corrected in later publications. To see which other researchers are citing one's work or the work of one's lab mates. To find citation number and metrics to report on job or grant applications, evaluations, etc. Therefore, the citation database is very important. I will just give you an example. You have referred one of my research paper into your article which you are supposed to send to some journal. When you have cited my research paper there, that research paper had 107 citations already. Now what did you get? Because the research paper of mine having 107 citations is very much related to your research work which you are doing, you get ready-made 107 references where from you can develop your hypothesis, your research work, your research articles, even you can develop a write-up for your patent, filing the patent, or writing the book, or publishing the book chapters. That is what is the importance of the citation database. Now the question comes, how do you come to know that Dr. Maheshwari is working in the field of nanofluids? How do you come to know this? Because when you come to know this, then only you will come to my profile in Research Scholar, in Google Scholar or Web of Science or wherever. And then only you will be able to see my research papers. And when you will be able to see my research papers, you will quote my name in your research articles, and then you will be able to see 107 people who have cited my research paper. So these 107 people become 107 people means 107 research article become a database for you for your work. Okay, so you go to Google Scholar, type there nanofluids. And you can type one more keyword, which is my keyword, heat transfer. Effect of the performance of the heat transfer with the help of the nanofluid. nanofluid का heat transfer performance पे क्या effect पड़ता है, ये मेरी study है. And your citations of the database is also very, very important, because if the database is there, you can take the printout or the soft copy and you can attach with your profile wherever you are going for maybe interview, maybe asking for the funding, maybe maybe going as the application for the scientist to a research organization. Wherever you are applying for the progression or the funding, there if you attach this citation database paper or page, which can even be cross-checked by the other side, and then they understand that how good researcher you are. And the titles and other things, everything is ready-made available in the database. आपके सभी पेपर्स मिलेंगे. कौन सा पेपर कहाँ पब्लिश हुआ है ये भी मिलेगा, किस पेपर को कौन से जर्नल में हुआ ये मिलेगा. Then they will also get to know that this research paper has how many citations. Any problem, any questions to anybody, any problem, or should I continue? Okay, now see the citation databases. Web of Science, Scopus, Google Scholar. Okay, so these are the databases. Scopus is owned by Elsevier. Web of Science is owned by Clarivate Analytics, earlier Thomson Reuters. Web of Science, trust the difference. Then Google Scholar is owned by Google. So these are the citation databases. Scopus also gives you the citation. Web of Science also gives you the citation. Google Scholar, if you type your name, that also gives you the citations. But then citations given by these three agencies are different. As I told you right in the beginning, that my 200 citations, which Google Scholar is showing, may be different in Web of Science or may be different in Scopus, depending on the parameters on the basis of which they judge the researcher. I'll just give an example here. I have published a research paper. Okay, it has got 15 citations. Then I write another article and send it for the publication. And while writing that article, I make the mention of my earlier research article, which has already been published, in the reference of my present article. So I get a citation. The moment my second article is published, I get a citation for the first article, which has already been published. This is what you are citing. Your own research paper is accepted by the Google Scholar, but is not accepted by the Web of Science. That's why if you transfer your Google Scholar citations, not transfer, if you go to Web of Science and see the citations in your profile, will definitely be less in number than what the citations are shown in Google Scholar. And in further slides, you will understand more. This I already told you, that feature service provider is Clarivate Analytics. Before it was Thomson Reuters. Scopus is promoted by Elsevier. Scopus is a product of Elsevier. Google Scholar is a product of Google. Access Web of Science license is needed. Your library or your college must have taken the license. And Scopus license is needed, but can access the author search. You can even right now, you type Scopus in the Google, go to Scopus website, there a term is there, author search. In that author search, your last name is to be typed, your first name is to be typed, your affiliation is to be typed, and then you will get the list of the research papers which you have published. Okay. Similarly, the number of journals. Web of Science has around 13,100 journals and 20,556 if include ESCI. What is the meaning of this? The number of journals in Web of Science which are 13,100 are SCI, Science Citation Index, and 20,556 जो बड़ा नंबर है 7,000 से ज्यादा है तो that is ESCI, Expanded Science Citation Index, yeah, Emerging Source Science Citation Index. I will tell you the full form of all this. Scopus is 21,950, and number of Google Scholar. We are not aware that how many journals are there in Google Scholar. Basically, the Google Scholar is not a publisher of the journal, but then they must have some journal. That's why unknown is written. ये ESCI is Emerging Sources Citation Index. Okay. Document types of citation index. SCIE, Science Citation Index Expanded. Science Citation Index Expanded and Science Citation Index is one and the same. Next is Emerging Sources Citation Index. BKCIS is Book Citation Index Science. Then CPCIS, Conference Proceeding Citation Index Science. Social Sciences Citation Index SSCI. Arts and Humanities Citation Index AHCI. So my friend participants who are here, when they must be publishing their research papers into the international conference proceedings, then they must have observed one thing, that when these conference proceedings are published, okay, when these conference proceedings are published, there they give CPCIS number, that is Conference Proceeding Citation Index. Papers published in conference proceeding has very lower level compared to the priority of the quality. Means all the types of papers published in the journals are more important than the journals published in the conference proceedings. Maybe the conference proceeding is indexed by Scopus, Springer, book chapter is indexed by Springer or Taylor and Francis, does not matter. But even if you have published a research paper in Institution of Engineers journal, that has more important than the conference proceedings at international conference having indexed by Scopus. इससे भी ज्यादा importance है Institution of Engineers India के journal. Then we go to the next. Okay, these are certain screenshots which I have taken to just tell you that how do we find the journals. So solar energy I have typed to search, and then I find that how many journals of the solar energy are there, and then publisher, this is the name of the publisher, ISSN, EISSN number, E means print, and what is ISSN? And why these number are of these many digits, that I'm going to tell you at the later slides. So these are the ISSN number, EISSN number. Believe me, ISBN, ISSN, EISSN number does not guarantee that your research paper is published in the index journal. Every single journal can get the ISSN number. Every single book can get the ISBN number. So let us not be under confusion that if a journal has a ISSN number, it means the papers published, all the papers which will be published in this journal will be Scopus Index or Science Citation Index. See, then it is third line, if you see, Science Citation Index Expanded, SCIE journal hai ye. And then the related topics are given, and then you will find that just at the below in the screen, you will find that the URL address which I have written to get all these here. From here, this is Web of Science. You can go to the Web of Science and find types of journals. I have given an understanding that the majority of the journals which are there in Web of Science either are SCIE or ESCI. ESCI is more important than SCIE. But then because they are Science Citation Index, they are very, very important compared to Scopus Index. And all these journals are automatically getting the Scopus indexation also. Solar energy, Science Citation Index expanded. जो मैं आपको बोल रहा था कि कैसे पता चलेगा आपको कि आपका जिस जर्नल में आप पब्लिश करने की कोशिश कर रहे हैं, whether that journal is of what level. Then you see here, Web of Science Group 2019 screenshot is there with me. This is the journal citation report, to which we call in short from JCR. And there are the list of the journals. The moment you go to the website, then you will find that you can get the complete list of the journals which are published into the Web of Science. Like I have got the screenshot of 2019, you can get it 2021, and all the journals listed here in the alphabetical order. Sorry, you will see here that they mention everything about the journal: full title, abbreviated title, country, region, and whether it is SCIE or SSCI. So whether it is a Social Science Citation Index or Science Citation Index expanded, that everything they mention here, and therefrom you can understand that the journal name, abbreviated name, kahan se publish hota hai, and what type of indexation this has got. Then we come to Scopus. We have seen Web of Science. Now we come to Scopus. And the moment you go to Scopus, देखिए right bottom corner में इसका address दिया हुआ है, URL address. You just go there and find out the author search, and then you will find that what type of research papers are there in the name of that author. You have to type the last name. ये यहाँ जो दिया हुआ है, I am not able to show you in complete detail, but then here it is the last name, here the first name, and this is the affiliation of the teacher, means like the RTM Nagpur University or Jhulelal Institute of Technology. And then when you click this search, then you will find the number of research papers which are there in your name, which are Scopus indexed. And many times the participants who do not have their research profile already generated in the Scopus, they'll be surprised to see that they published a research paper in the year 2013, and even that research paper is shown there in the Scopus. तो कई मर्तबा हमको भी नहीं मालूम रहता है. Now, देखिए यहाँ पे I have typed subject area, title, publisher, ISSN number. You can search the research journal. You can search the journals either by writing the title, publisher, or ISSN. So I have written a title, environment, and then I got the 225 results. These 225 results, see here, journals are Nature Energy, site score 71.2, highest percentile 99%. Third column, citations 30,740, documents 432, percent cited 88. Now everything, means the total Janma Kundali of this journal is mentioned here by the database agency, to which we call Scopus. Site score is 71.2, means what? That you have to understand. Total citations is how many? 30,740. How many documents are there? Means 432 documents in this Nature Energy journal for the 3 years from 2016 to 19 are 30,740. 432 articles were published in last 3 years into this journal, received 30,740 citations. Now, when you divide 30,740 by 432, so you get citation per article. Just divide and see what it comes. Does it match with 71.2? And then we go to the second journal, which says that its site score is 56. Site score is the journal matrix. Remember, Site score is not the author matrix. Site score is journal matrix. Every journal, reputed journal, mentions the site matrix. 71.2 Nature Energy is a very, very high site score because 432 articles have got 30,740 citations, and 88% of the research articles are cited. Maybe the citation is 1, maybe the citation is 100, but then the 88% of the research papers in this Nature Energy journal, duration 2016 to 19, are cited 88%. 432 का 88% निकालिए, इतने जर्नल्स यहाँ पे cited है. And when 30,740 total citations divided by 430, you get 71.2. That is the site score. Similarly, second research paper, if you see, second journal, if you see Energy and Environmental Science, here you will find that the site score is 56, whereas 63,205 citations by 1129 articles. What does it mean? So 1129 मतलब पहले के कंपैरिजन में the number of articles have increased almost 3 times, whereas the citations did not increase 3 times. So naturally, compared to the first journal, its site score will be less. So, but then one beautiful thing is that here 96% of the research papers published are cited. Maybe the number of citations per paper can be less, but then 96% of the research papers are cited. So if 63,205 divided by 1129, I will get the site score as 56. That is what is my contention from this slide is. ISSN. When a serial with the same content is published in more than one media type, a different ISSN is assigned to each media type. For example, many serials are published both in print and electronic media. The ISSN system refers to these types as print ISSN, that is PISSN, and electronic ISSN is known as EISSN. Recently, at the last slide, you must have seen that the Nature Energy was given EISSN number. So ISSN ka pura full form kya hai वगैरह, this I will tell you at the slides later. Let us come to the similar type of slide which I have shown you earlier. यहाँ पे आप देखने की कोशिश कीजिए, and the similar way, see, even if the site score is 8.2, International Journal of Heat and Mass Transfer, my one of the research paper got published here. So here the site score is 8.2. So low the site score. Even then, 82% of the research papers are cited. 82% of the research, 82% of how many? 6297, 3 साल में. 6297 का 82% of the research papers are cited, and the total number of citations are 51,630, and this 51,630 divided by 6297 will give you 8.2. So that is what is my contention, and I'll not go in detail of that. टाइटल हीट ट्रांसफर, हमने हीट ट्रांसफर से सर्च किया इसको, तो हीट ट्रांसफर के नाम के जितने भी थे वो आ गए हमारे. इंटरनेशनल जर्नल ऑफ हीट ट्रांसफर, ओ सॉरी, site score, this I told you, site score I already told you, 71.2. highest percentile means site score percentile indicates the relative standing of a serial title in its subject field. Okay, there is a different mathematics to calculate all this, because we do not have that much data to show you here. So that this 90, where from 99% comes, that's why I am giving just the definition. Site score percentile indicates the relative standing of a serial title in its subject field, that is the energy or environment. 99% or higher than 99% of the titles in that category. Short summary. Databases. अभी कौन-कौन से databases हैं? Web of Science and Scopus, Google Scholar, and Science Direct. You must have heard about Science Direct also. (1133) is all there. So this is the, we are taking a little feedback, or what I can say is I am summarizing what I did so far. तो थोड़ा सा break भी हो जाता है मेरे बोलने के लिए भी, आपके भी. So short summary, databases, source of literature, Web of Science and Scopus, Google Scholar, Science Director, publishers, published journals, books, conference proceedings. They are elsewhere, Taylor and Francis, Springer, IEEE, ASME, ASC, Wiley Online Library, and so many publishers there. And all the participants must be aware. Those who have more than 5 years of the teaching in their institution, they are well aware of all these things. Scopus is Elsewhere's abstract and citation database launched in 2004. So you must know that Scopus is a product of Elsewhere. Web of Science is a product of Claveret, जिसको हम पहले थॉमसन र्यूटर बोलते थे. Google Scholar, of course, is Google. Now we have come to Elsewhere. We have seen Scopus, we have seen Web of Science. Now we have come to a publisher, which is Elsewhere. Okay. Elsewhere.com पे आप आ जाइए तो आपको मिलेगा how Scopus works. It is Netherlands-based information and analytics company specializing in scientific, technical, and medical content. So normally social science, arts, and humanities journals are normally not available here. They are there, but not in large number. Basically, it is having a specialization in scientific, technical, and medical content. Now, you always have a question ki we do not know how many journals the Elsewhere publishes. We do not know how many books the Elsewhere publishes, how to find out the journal, how should I come to know that my research article is suitable for which journal. So here, download the source title list. Download the book title list. Discontinued sources from Scopus. See what is happening these days, that we the researchers are made fool by the publishers, in the sense that they know that you are a research scholar publishing 2 research papers in the Scopus Index journal for submitting the PhD is an essence for you, so they attack on you. They know that you are going to be promoted from assistant professor's post to associate professor's post, wherein 7th pay commission says that, AICT says that you must have published 2 research papers in Scopus Index journals. Okay. Third, they know that you are applying for a funding to the central government funding agencies like Department of Science and Technology, AICT, BARC, UGC. They somehow come to know all this. So they attack on you, they go on sending you the mail. So our journal is listed in the UGC care list. Our journal is Scopus indexed. Please go through the website and publish it. So immediately what you need to do, if you have the journal title with you, or if you have the ISSN or EISSN number of the journal with you, or if you have the publisher's name there, then immediately you type in the Google, और जिसका भी journal होगा Elsewhere होगा तो Elsewhere में चले जाइए. And if it is there, what I should say, Springer, Taylor and Francis, American Society of Mechanical Engineering, or the best way is go to Science Direct or go to Scopus, type the name there, and you will immediately come to know that this journal is a fake journal. This journal is a cloned journal. The person sender is only meant to mint the money from you, exploiting your emergencies and exigencies. So therefore, you should be very, very cautious about such things taking place. And everything is readily available. आप यहाँ से सब कुछ डाउनलोड कर सकते हैं. आप सर्च में जाके जर्नल का नाम टाइप करके देख सकते हैं कि whether that journal exists or not. ISSN number मैंने previously आपको बताया. Even you can see whether that exists or not. See, this is the list. This is the list of the Elsewhere which I was talking to you. And such list you get. यहाँ पे print ISSN लिखा है, EISSN लिखा हुआ है. Titles discontinued by Scopus due to quality issue. See this column, F column. Coverage, कब से चल रहा है ये? Article language. And 2017 site score even is given. If you see the last column, site score even is given, and you are now aware of the site score, so I need not to explain you that. Okay. So I hope this will help you. And then we have come to Science Direct website. Okay. Science Direct में क्या क्या कर सकते हैं वो हम आपको इससे this website will tell you everything. You can download the research papers from this for your literature survey or for writing the research article. You can input the keywords, like here you will see the first is keywords, author name, journal, book title, volume, issue, page. Even if you know one or two things out of it, you will get the journal required. Science Direct is a database. You have to understand which is a database, which is publisher, what are journals, ताकि हमको मतलब कोई बेवकूफ ना बना सके, हमको ये सब मालूम होना चाहिए. I already told you what is citation. Why do we need to cite our sources of information? To give credit to the original source. If you are referring, if you are citing my research paper, then you have to give credit to my research paper. To establish your credibility. By this, your credibility increases, that you referred the paper and mentioned also, and that how many citations do you have, that establishes your research potential. If you have higher number of citations, or if you have one research paper, you have published only one research paper crossing more than 100 citations, then the researchers in this field understand that in this area this person has very good knack to guide your readers to participate in an academic conversation. अभी citation based research matrix, web of science की कौन कौन सी research matrix है, Scopus की क्यों है, मैंने आपको बताया था कि web of science and Scopus are way different. Citations which are mentioned there in the Scopus under your author, the moment you open the Web of Science and open your author profile, you will find that the number of research papers, number of citations are reduced. So journal impact factor is the research matrix given by Web of Science, journal research matrix I'm talking about. 5-year journal impact factor belongs to Web of Science. Immediacy index, IGN factor, cited half-life, these 5 parameters are the parameters which describes the journal, which tells about the quality of journal given by Web of Science. What is given by Elsewhere through Scopus, because Scopus is a product of Elsewhere. Site score, Shimego journal ranking, SJR, source normalized impact per paper, SNP, and field weighted cited impact, FWCI. These are the 4 parameters which have been given by the Elsewhere in the form of a product of Scopus. तो ये दो जो citation bases हैं, ये जो दो databases हैं, both have the different parameters. Journal impact factor. Let us try to calculate the impact factor. Okay, a journal impact factor is calculation based on 2-year period, and is calculated by dividing the number of citations in the journal JCR जो मैंने आपको बताया था year by the total number of articles published in the 2 previous years. Say for example, if okay, see here. So now I have to calculate the 2-year journal impact factor. So I want to calculate the 2-year journal impact factor. So previous to that year, जिस भी ईयर का मैं उस जर्नल का इम्पैक्ट फैक्टर कैलकुलेट करना चाहता हूं, बिकॉज दिस इज अ जर्नल मैट्रिक्स, जर्नल रिसर्च मैट्रिक्स. सो प्रीवियस 2 years, that is 2018, 2019. So 2018, that journal has got citations 846, whereas the publications were 354, that is number of articles. 2019, 1130 and 634. Okay, let us see how the treatment is given to this. Because I want to find out the impact factor of 2020, so I have taken 2 previous years, that is 19 and 18, and let us see that citations of 2020 divided by publications of 2019 plus publications of 2018. So the total citations which we have received, which in these 2 years the journal received, is 846 plus 1130. Okay, divided by what? The total number of research articles published. 2019 में कितना publish किया, 2018 में कितना publish किया. When we do like this, we get the journal impact factor 2. Now tell me, journal impact factor 2 means what? What is the significance of journal impact factor 2? Can you tell me? Out of this mathematical calculations, can you tell me that what is the, if I say that this journal has the impact factor 2, what is the significance? किसी का 3 है, किसी का 4 है, किसी का 2 है, किसी का 0.5 है. What does it mean? One thing you know that higher is the impact factor, better is the quality of the journal. But then what is the significance? How can you say that this is better? So an impact factor of 2 means that on an average, the articles published 1 or 2 years ago have been cited 2 times. Means every single article published in this journal in 2018 and 2019 year has got is being cited 2 times, has got 2 citations. That is what is the meaning of impact factor. The value of the denominator is restricted to the same window of time as the numerator, that is year 1 and year 2. Any item assigned the document type, article or review in Web of Science is included in the denominator. See, here is the difference. While calculating the impact factor, the Web of Science only considers article or review article, plain article or review. Okay. They do not consider book chapter. They do not consider book chapter here. They consider only the article or review. That's why I said that the Web of Science is having little stricter parameters compared to the product of Elsevier, that is Scopus. An item with any other document type is excluded from the denominator. The venue for measuring these data points is the WS production database. ठीक है, उससे हमको कुछ लेना देना नहीं. Similarly, 5-year journal impact factor. 5-year journal impact factor can also be calculated like this, as we have calculated for 2 years. The 5-year journal impact factor provides a broader view onto the citation data, but at the expense of granularity. Matlab, granularity got reduced. When the number of years increased, granularity got reduced, whereas in 2 years that granularity is maintained. But then if I calculate the 5-year impact factor, then it gives me a broader view, better view of the journal's reliability and journal's performance. There is an example again. Let us see how do we calculate, क्योंकि 2019 तक ये दिया है, so we have to calculate the impact factor 2020. So the same process which we adopted for calculating the 2 years impact factor is calculated this, but then here the impact factor is 1.55, so the significance will be accordingly. The 5-year journal impact factor is the average number of times articles from a journal published in the past 5 years have been cited in the chosen JCR year, Journal Citation Report, JCR. Immediacy index I will not discuss here in these deliberations. Halaki, this is very easy. Immediacy index is also one of the parameters of the journal matrix and is indicated to Web of Science. It has been given by Web of Science. So citations from JCR year to items in JCR year. Citation item in JCR year means whatever is the journal citation report year is there, the same will be the impact factor, that is immediacy index. Till before this, what we were doing in impact factor, we were doing in impact factor ki the year in which we are calculating the impact factor, we used to take the number of articles and number of citations previous 2 years. But here we take the same year. That is only the difference, and that's why the immediacy index will always be less than the impact factor for the same duration. Okay. Frequently issued journals may have an advantage because an article published early in the year has a better chance of being cited than one published later in the year. This is the advantage of the immediacy index. Many publications that publish infrequently or late in the year have low immediacy index. So frequent issues जो आते रहते हैं उनके लिए this is better. Site score similar to journal impact factor, accounts 3-year data, Scopus indexed. So my dear participants, how to calculate site score I have already told you, and that time I told you that this is the parameter which has been propounded by the Scopus, and the Scopus is a product of Elsevier, and this is similar to the journal impact factor. We have seen the Nature Energy Journal where we got the site score as around 82.2. And how did we arrive at that time I told you, and the same is the site score. आप और चाहे तो देख लीजिए यहाँ पे. You can see the citations y -1, citations y -2, citations y -3. Like this, if you go ahead and then you can get the Nature Energy Journal had a site score of 2019 of 51.0. Before 2020, the score was calculated differently. After 2020, the process of calculating the citations changes. Indian Citation Index, I hope that you must be aware about, is a comprehensive multidisciplinary citation index for the research journal published from India. This Indian Citation Index is published from India, yet to become very popular, yet to be known amongst the international arena. This is the website. You can go and check yourself. These are the journals which are listed in Indian Citation Index. Author impact matrix. The most recognized author matrix is the H index. It can be I-10 index also, it can be G index also. These two are the alternatives to H index. But then the most popular, you must not have heard G index so far. Not all, but then the majority may not have heard about the G index. But then you must definitely have heard about H index and I-10 index, because those participants who have their profile already in scope, Google Scholar. So the Google Scholar automatically calculates your H index and I-10 index. Let us try to understand what is this H index and I-10 index in the remaining time of around 10 minutes. It is based on the number of publications and the number of citations. See here, if your H index is 12 in Scopus, will remain 9.6 in Web of Science. This is what I wanted to tell you. They have their benchmarking parameters in such a fashion that if you have 21.5 H index in Google Scholar, will become 12 in Scopus, and 12 in Scopus will become 9.6 in Web of Science. This is the way the parameters have become stricter. That is, if somebody has an H index of 5, it means that 5 of his articles have been cited at least 5 times each. This is what you have to understand as the participants. If I say that Dr. Debashish Bhaumik has the H index 10, what is the significance? We have already seen the significance of the impact factor 2. Similarly, if Dr. Bhaumik has the H index 10, what does it mean? It means that 10 of his articles have been cited at least 10 times each. 10 of his articles have been cited at least 10 times each. They would have been cited 20 times. One of the research papers would have been cited 100 times. But then 10 papers are there which have been cited minimum 10 times each. And that's why their H index is 10. Let us see the example. Researcher A, researcher B, researcher C. Total publication of researcher A is 1, B is 10, C is 10. Total citations 50, 200, 200. Citation impact 50 to 20, 20. H index 1, 10, 5. Okay. How the citation impact is getting calculated? Citation impact is getting calculated by total citations divided by total publications. Okay. हमारे पास ये 3 केस है. अभी देखिए, this table shows an example of how H index can be applied at the author level. Researcher A has only one publication that has received 50 citations. एक ही पेपर है लेकिन उसको बहुत सारे citations मिले, 50 citations. While researcher B has published 10 documents that has received 20 citations each. And researcher C has the same number of publications and citations as researcher B, but has H index 5. This mathematics we need to understand. Researcher A has got citation 50, H index 1. Researcher B has got citation 20. Every research paper has got the 20 citations. 10 research paper hai. H index 10. Whereas researcher C also has same number of publications, same number of citations, same citation impact, but has the H index 5. Let us try to understand this. So citation impact is, मैंने आपको बताया, number of citations divided by number of papers. According to the definition of the H index, researcher A, who has only one publication and has received 50 citations, will have an H index 1, whereas researcher B, who has 10 publications and has received 20 citations for each publication, will have an H index 10. Researcher C has an H index of 5, which means that even though she has published the same number of documents and received the same number of citations as researcher B, researcher C citations are more concentrated in 5 documents that are more cited than the rest of his publications. This you need to understand here. Okay, see here. There are total, the number is 10, papers published 1 to 10, citations on all the papers is 56, 12, 4, 5, 42, 9, 14, 4, 5, 10. Okay, what I did, I have arranged the citations in descending order and assigned the rank. So one which has been cited highest number of times is given the rank 1. And accordingly, the serial order of the paper published changes. So the paper published are in serial order is 1, 5, 7, 2, 10, 6, 4, 9, 3, 8. Citations 56, 42 in descending order. Rank is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay. Check conditions. Whether the citations are greater than rank? Yes. Citations 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 greater than rank? 4 नंबर देखिए, 4 नंबर थोड़ा सा नीचे जा रहा है ये जो है ना, ये थोड़ा ऊपर आना चाहिए. हाँ, C, 4 number. Citations greater than rank. This formula gets disturbed or violated at rank number 7. Okay, wherever this gets violated, wherever this is not true, we have to leave that row and see that what is the H index. So H index is 6. What does it mean? That the 6 research papers of the researcher having 6 citations each at least. So H index is 6. The moment you try to make H index 7, अब यहाँ पे आपको किसी को डाउट आ सकता है, why not H index 7, sir? Because if I want to give this researcher the H index 7, it means that this researcher has 7 citations at least to 7 of its research papers, which is not true. Because it is 7th research paper has got only 5 citations. Its 7th research paper has got only 5 citations, and therefore I cannot claim the statement that this researcher has 7 research papers with 7 citations at least to all. This statement becomes true. That's why we go to previous and H index becomes 6. Now H index holds true or not? Let us see. This researcher has H index 6. That is minimum 6 citation to 6 research papers of this researcher. That holds true. And that's why its H index is 7. Now, if I want that this researcher should get H index 7, I want that the researcher should get H index 7. What should I do? Or what should he do to get the H index 7? Any participant? इस रिसर्चर को अगर 7 H इंडेक्स चाहिए है तो उसने क्या करना चाहिए? Any participant if can answer so that I can have a sip of water.
साइटेशन बढ़ाने को ना
कितने?
7 के ऊपर
7 क्यों नहीं?
7 भी चलते हैं मिनिमम, लेकिन 7 के ऊपर रहा तो इंडेक्स काउंट किया जाएगा।
नहीं नहीं ऐसा थोड़ी। ओके, आप जो बोल रहे हो उसी को थोड़ा एक्सप्लेन कर। इफ दिस येलो marked row where the number of citations are 5, okay, if the researcher puts the effort to make this 5 as 7, then can I give this person H index 7? 5 की जगह 7 हो गए उसके citations, तो क्या हम इसको 7 दे सकते हैं? As per definition, if I give the H index 7 to this researcher, it means that his 7 research papers have at least 7 citations each. That statement becomes true. Hence, we can award him the citation H index. We can award him the H index as 7 the moment he increases his citations from 5 to 7. Okay, let me know if I want to give this researcher the H index 8, तब क्या करना पड़ेगा? I want to give this researcher H index 8. What should the researcher do? Any participant? कोई भी बताइए। 8 H index देना है भाई इसको।
हेलो तो एक पेपर जो है
मिनिमम
उसकी citations 8 से ज्यादा होनी चाहिए, 8 या 8 से ज्यादा।
नहीं, मेरे को बताइए 6वें नंबर के रिसर्च पेपर के उसके साइटेशन 5 है, उसको कितना करूं?
6ठे वाले रिसर्च पेपर 7वें वाले का भी 8 से ज्यादा होना चाहिए, 8वें वाले का भी 8 से ज्यादा होना चाहिए, 8 या 8 से ज्यादा।
ओके, 7वें का 8 कर दे और 8वें का 8 कर दे। यू आर वेरी करेक्ट। इफ आई मेक if the researcher gets 3 additional citation at 7th rank research paper and 3 additional citations for 8th rank research paper, then his
Yes.
H index will become 8.
8, yes sir, yes.
Okay,
Yes sir.
so I hope that at least you have understood it. Let us
Yes.
go ahead.
Thank you very much.
हाँ, अभी इसका तो बताइए। Can anybody tell me what I did for you is I got the table number 1. I have arranged that table number 1 as per rank. Total research papers were 10. Now tell me what will be the H index of this researcher. जल्दी बताइए क्योंकि हमारे पास 12 बज चुका है and there may be some other speaker. Devashish?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
No, you are the only speaker today, sir.
I am the only one?
Yeah, sir.
तो इन लोगों का लंच वगैरह कब रखा है? अच्छा, they are on or online. Okay.
Yes.
हाँ, तो फिर तो वो मतलब देखते हुए भी खा सकते हैं. No issues. I will take 10 more minutes, Devashish, if you allow.
Sir, please go ahead.
Now tell me, the participants, tell me that what will be the H index of this researcher. अगर आपको ये समझ में आ गया ना तो H index, I index कैसे बढ़ाना आपको समझ में आएगा.
8 sir, 8.
8.
Very good. Meaning thereby you have understood that at rank 9, the formula of citation should be greater than rank gets disturbed, gets violated, is not true. Okay, whereas up to rank 8, citations are more than the rank. Last is 16. 16 is the citations more than the rank, that is 8. That's why this researcher will get the H index 8. Okay, let me ask you one more, लेकिन जाने दीजिए क्योंकि हम फिर I10 index नहीं समझ पाएंगे. So H index is 8. Okay, so I hope that you must have understood. The H index allows for Hirsch index बोलते हैं. A scientist known as Hirsch propounded this index. That's why it is known as H index. It is very popular. The advantage is allows for direct comparison within the disciplines. measures quantity and impact by a single value. Disadvantage is does not give an accurate measure for early career researcher. उनको थोड़ा disadvantageous है. Calculated by using only articles that are indexed in Web of Science. If a researcher publishes an article in a journal that is not indexed by Web of Science, the article as well as any citation to it will not be included in the H index calculation. तो आप देखिए पूरे डिस्कशन में एक बात समझ में आती है कि Web of Science parameters are stricter than the Google Scopus parameters, and Scopus parameters are stricter by the compared to Google's parameters. Let us try to understand I-10 index. जी हम नहीं डिस्कस करेंगे क्योंकि आपने देखा होगा बहुत सारे पार्टिसिपेंट्स की जो गूगल स्कॉलर प्रोफाइल है वहां पे I-10 इंडेक्स भी आता है. Okay, so let us see how the I-10 index is calculated. This is very simple. The I-10 index was created by Google Scholar. I-10 index equal to the number of publications with at least 10 citations. Whatever number of research papers are having 10 citations, that will be the I-10 index. If I have 10 research papers having 10 citations each, hence my I-10 index is 10. That is what is the meaning of this. Advantage of I-10, very simple and straightforward to calculate. My citations in Google Scholar is free and easy to use. Disadvantages of I-10 index used only in Google Scholar. अभी बताइए, what will be the I-10 index of this researcher? रैंक वैंक लगा के दिया है हमने आपको. The definition is the number of research papers having at least 10 citations each will have I-10 index that.
Rank 6 is violated.
5.
I-10 index कितना है इसका?
5.
Correct. I-10 index is 5. Now I want to give it I-10 index say 6. I-10 index इसका 6 होना चाहिए तो क्या करें?
साइटेशन 10 होने को ना.
कहाँ के?
6 के.
Very good. So 6th ranked citation if can be increased by 1. 6th rank citation if can be increased by 1 will become 10. So I-10 index will become 6. This is what is I wanted to tell you, my dear participants, that how can you concentrate on your index, maybe H index and I-10 index. आपके citations पे concentrate करो research papers के और देखो कि मेरा कौन सा research paper का citation बढ़ने से मेरा H इंडेक्स या I-10 इंडेक्स पड़ता है. आज टेक्निकल या रिसर्चर दुनिया में हम इंडेक्स के माध्यम से जाने जाते हैं. He is a fellow with H10 index, H index 10,000. He is a fellow with I-10 index 6,000. है ना? Okay. So your answer is correct. Let me know this. This researcher. How much is the I-10 index? Huh?
8.
Very good. This I-10 index is 8. Now I want it to give 9.
Add 6 number to in citation of 9.
Very good. Whatever rank 9 is, in those citations, if I add 6 will become 10 and I-10 index of this researcher will become 9. Okay, very good. 1 minute. Huh. Tell me in this table, what is the H index? I-10 index 8 है. H index बताइए क्या है यहाँ पे?
सर H इंडेक्स भी 8 ही रहेगा because 9 पे मतलब lesser है citation.
Very good. So at 9th rank, the number of citations are less than the rank, hence is invalid. So it will have H index also 8, I-10 index also 8. Okay, good, very good. Let us go to G index. G index is introduced as an improvement of the H index of Hirsch to measure the global citation performance of a set of articles. The G index gives more weight to highly cited articles, whereas H index is insensitive to it. हर एक इंडेक्स का अपना अपना इंपॉर्टेंस है. The G index gives more weight to highly cited articles, whereas H index is insensitive to it. Someone's G index will always be equal to or greater than the H index. So my dear friends, wherever you get an opportunity to cite your G index, along with H index, cite G index also, even if the interviewer, funder, or the funding agency does not ask you to give the G index, you give the G index on your own, because your G index will be greater than your H index, at least will be equal to. कैलकुलेट करके देख लीजिए, H index और G index equal है तो मत दीजिए G index, but then if you feel that the G index is more, then give the H index and G index both. देखिए अभी हमने क्या किया, जी इंडेक्स कैसे कैलकुलेट होता है, मैंने आपको प्रोसेस नहीं बताई, डायरेक्टली टेबल पे आ गया. टेबल 1 सेम एज वी हैव सीन अर्लियर. सो पेपर पब्लिश्ड, साइटेशंस, रैंक वाइज हमने कर दिया. फर्स्ट 4 कॉलम्स आर सेम एज वी हैव सीन इन द अर्लियर केस ऑफ आई इंडेक्स एंड एच इंडेक्स. Then in the 5th column what I did is I have started putting the citations cumulative. तो रैंक 1 को तो 21 ही आएगा, रैंक 2 को 21 प्लस 15 हो जाएगा, रैंक 3 को 21 प्लस 15 प्लस 11 हो जाएगा, रैंक 4 को 21 प्लस 15 प्लस 11 प्लस 9 हो जाएगा. सो दैट इज द समेशन ऑफ साइटेशंस. ओके, देन व्हाट आई डू इज I make the in the 6th column I make rank square. In the 6th column I make rank square. So I have added 2 additional column here compared to H index and I10 index. Okay, now condition is wherever the summation C is greater than rank square, वहां तक स्टेटमेंट ट्रू है और वो G इंडेक्स होगा. See here, summation C is greater than rank square. Are you getting my point? Summation of citations, the 5th column which I have taken, that 5th column is greater than rank square जहां तक है. वहीं तक हमको जाना है. So its G index is 8. There is something wrong here. This greater than की जगह smaller than है. Wherever the summation of citation is less than rank square, this is smaller actually. Did you get my point? What we did compared to H index and I10 index, I increased 2 columns. The 5th column is summation C, citation का summation करना है, and the last column is rank square. So you have to move column wise or row wise till the point where summation of citation is less than rank square. The moment I move like this, I see that 21 is less than 1, 36 is greater than rank square, 47 is greater than 9, 56 is greater than 16, 63 is greater than 25, 68 is greater than 36, 72 is greater than 49, 75 is greater than 64, and G index is equal to 8. If I have to make G index 9, then what should I do? If I have to make G index 9, then the summation of C should be greater than 81.
81.
Summation of C, that is 77, should be greater than 81. So I have to increase the citation somewhere so that 77 becomes greater than 81. है ना? So you can increase at 9th rank the number of citations as, say for example 7. You increase it by 5. आप कहीं भी increase कर सकते हैं, लेकिन यहाँ पे increase किया आपने. At rank 9, citations given are 2. You make it 7, increase by 5. The moment you make it 7, then this summation will become 75 plus 7 will become 82, and 82 is greater than 81. So G index will become 9. Now, as I told you that G index is either equal to or greater than H index. Now you tell me what is the H index of this researcher here? What is the H index of this researcher? Don't see the last two columns. Tell me the H index of this researcher.
Five.
Very good. Very good. Number of citations more than rank statement is true till rank 5. The moment you go to rank 6, the number of citations are less than the rank. So the statement becomes invalid. So here the H index will be 5. Note कर लीजिए कहीं H index is 5. Tell me I10 index. I10 index बताइए.
3.
Very good. I10 index is 3. And G index is how much? Citations rank के स्क्वायर से ज्यादा है. कहां तक है? 8 तक? 8. Now that statement is proved correct, that H index is 5, whereas G index is 8. So wherever there is a requirement to produce the index along with H, also write G. Okay, tell me here. What is G index? This is the last slide, okay? I know that 12:15 बज गए, आप लोगों को नाश्ता वाश्ता करना होगा. What is the G index?
G index 10.
Very good. So it is 10. Okay, because 161, which is the summation of citations, is greater than rank square. So 10. G index is 10. Tell me H index. Tell me H index. आखिरी के 2 कॉलम भूल जाइए.
6.
Very good. Yes. H index 6. Tell me I10 index.
5.
5. Okay. So we have seen from these two examples, which may not be true with every example, that the lowest is the I10 index, moderate is the H index, and highest is the G index. So with this, I summarize the entire presentation, and I enjoyed with the participants, those who answered, because that gives an immense satisfaction to a teacher that his students are understanding what he is going to tell, what he is teaching, and the communication intended and communication received, there is a minimum gap. So I am thankful to the 2-3 students who have given the answer. These participants will definitely rise to a very high level because they are aware of the facts and they understand better. I wish these answering participants all the best, and to all others also. And I am thankful to Jhulelal Institute of Technology, National Assessment and Accreditation Council, Dr. Bhaumik, and Madam Indrani Das Sharma, who were constantly following me and chasing me so that I can present this expert lecture before you. And my intention was only to make my participants aware that how the parameters which are required by today's research world can be understood, can be imbibed, and can be increased. Now you will become a strategic researcher. Your research contribution will definitely be very high, but then now you will have the strategy that I will go for research. There is no doubt. I will be a good researcher. But at the same time, administratively also, I will see that how these number game can be handled with, and you can be put at the top slot when it comes to numbers. That is what is I wanted to explain. I feel that I did my job, and whenever you will give the feedback, then Professor Debashish will definitely communicate to me as to how I was as a teacher, and if definitely there are some drawback which you will give me as a frank feedback, I will try to improve, and next time you will find that I do not commit the mistake which I have committed this time as per your feedback. Thank you so much. Thank you all for the patient hearing.
Thank you.
sir.
Thank you, Maheshwari sir. I'll take the liberty, ma'am. Just a minute, please. I want to tell Miss, after going, Miss, listening to this entire deliberation, I want to correct myself, correct the information that Dr. Prashant Maheshwari, as we have said, he is PhD, a double PhD. I should say he's a triple PhD. He has done a lot of, there is a lot of work to understand these indexes and to how to interestingly deliberate this or provide this information to we as a students. It's a great job, sir. Thank you so much. Now, Miss, I definitely would like to give a small title to you, Dr. Maheshwari, and that is RIG. That stands for Research Index Guru. For me, at least, Nagpur has produced a Research Index Guru. I think the Pan India, all the participants who are with us live right now, or maybe watching it is in YouTube later on, they will definitely be contacting you to give a presentation deliberation in their state, in their institute. Thank you so much. Okay.
Thank
Over
you.
to you,
Thank
ma'am.
you, Debashish. Thank you so much. Thank you, dear participants, for your love which you extended to me as a teacher. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Now I would like to invite Mr. Pramod Pampatwar, Director Technical, to guide the audience.
Good afternoon, everyone. First of all, I welcome Dr. Prashant Maheshwari on the JIT platform, which has been created by NAAC and other agencies, which have enabled us to know कि research सिर्फ